Good morning, Bill Benton here of BentON Racing. Andrew Meeks once again behind the camera, and once again we're working on Andrew Meeks' CB750 1971 Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel pretty much got everything it needed when it was here getting built, but as you people well know, if you've worked on these bikes for years, these things were hard on drive chains. These things, when they came out, were notorious for breaking the 530 drive chain that they put on back then because they just weren't strong enough. And when they would break, sometimes you were lucky and they would spit them out like a snake, and most of the time they didn't. Most of the time the chain tried to double up in front of the front sprocket, which there isn't room between it and the engine. So when it tried to double up, your front sprocket came to a screeching halt as your chains went through the engine case, which is aluminum, and right where the two cases meet. So if you repaired it properly, it meant taking your engine apart, getting it welded or heliart, filing it down, putting it all back together. Probably more motorcycles got parked for chain breaking in the early days than anything else. Okay, so the manufacturer started making better chains for us. Honda themselves, a little late in the game, but when they started making the 77F2, I think also the 77K model, 77 and 78, the last 2 years of production, they both came with 630 chains, which are heavy and a little overkill. These days, they make such good chains, you can actually go with a 520 chain if you want to. The racers are mainly running 520s. For the street use, we're going to run a 530, and that's what I recommend. This is the chain we got for him. These days, you still have chains three different ways. You have chains without O-rings. You have chains with O-rings, which is what came first. That's a sealed chain. And then you have an X O-ring, which is what I recommend. The X O-ring goes in and allows a little bit of contact between the metal plates, whereas O-ring doesn't do that. So pretty much I think most people on the street are running XR O-ring chains, which is what we have here. And of course, it being Captain Marvel with its gold accents, we got him a gold-plated chain. And I think it is a BM XR Series 530 9,700 foot-pounds of tensile strength. And they say good enough for a 900, 1100cc bike. So once again, what we got to do first, of course, if we're going to install one, is take the old one off. So what we're getting ready to do to take the old one off, this chain has a master link in it. So we're going to find a master link. We'll spin it. There's our master link. It's been put on properly. The closed end is going toward the direction of rotation. Okay. So we're going to take the master link off, knock the pin out, chain will separate. I'm going to take the other chain out the box, get the pin out, push it through one end of the chain, hook it to this chain here, and let it roll through and come back out. That will save you not having to pull this cover. Normally I might pull the cover to clean all the grease and dirt and dust that collects up there from chain lube, but since we just built this bike, I know there's not that much up there and I don't need to do that. So if you're in that situation, loop one chain to the other, and you don't have to take the cover off and fight it and have to put it back. So to do it, we take the master link out, separate the chain, hook our new chain up to run it through, come over here, pull our cotter pin, loosen our axle nut like we would normally to adjust the chain. Then all we got to do is loosen our little adjusters here, and we'll be able to put the new chain on, come back and adjust it, pull it back till we get it at the proper place. We'll show you how to do that and what the tension is and talk about that when we put it back on. Now we're going to stop for a minute while I get the new chain ready, and then we'll be back in just a second. Thank you so much.